Welcome back to the Island Challenge, the challenge in which I have to stay on this island. Now, as you can see, I have been doing a little bit of work. I have been AFK. I'm level 39 now. I've got lots of farm stuff going. I opened this up a little bit, and things are generally going well. Now, one thing I have discovered is that this bridge over here is allowing at least one villager to walk over and into my house. Is a blacksmith. I don't know who he is. At one point there was a wandering trader, but I think he got lost in some kind of thunderstorm and flew away, a la James and the Giant Peach's parents. I don't know, got eaten by a hippo. Something's gone. So, any and all trades I could do through that are limited, but the one trade I managed to do off camera was I managed to get about 3 blue dye, and that got me thinking. It really did. What would I even do with that? Now, I said I was going to do a little decoration on the inside of the house, and honestly, it could use some interior decorating. I would like to have a little barrel, maybe some candles, and a couple of bookshelves, but I'm just not in a place right now where I can do any of that because I don't have any supplies. A tragedy, truly. But, you know, it's just not how it is. So I was like, okay, what would I like to do then? I'd like to gather some supplies. But in order to do that, I am going to need some kind of armor. And I finally have enough leather to do such a thing, which is very convenient. Now, the reason why I need this armor is because I have discovered a mine shaft. Now, as a little proof, because I don't want to walk all the way down there right now, I have some name tags, which is just not something that naturally occurs on the island. And I promise you I have not left this thing, not for one moment off camera. Well, I did jump in the water, but that doesn't count. So, anyway, I have been thinking hard about what I want to do. After all, I have so much farming going with the AFK, but I'm not really eating all that much. After all, my food supply has gone up fairly consistently. Then what's the point of hanging out and just AFKing? It's just not that productive. So I wanted to take a little peek down in my mine shaft. Alright, so here we are down in the mine shaft, and there is so many paths to explore, but I'm going to stick by going to the right and just seeing where that goes. I think it leads in a circle. Yeah, because that's my other entrance to the mine. And I think we've had enough of this. And I'm beginning to realize how I'm so ill-prepared for this mine. I don't know. I don't have any food on me. So, incredibly wise decisions are being made. Hopefully we run into something cool soon. This is just a hole in the floor, and I don't have any items or any blocks of any kind to try and get me out of this. And it looks like this is a dead end anyway, so not too shabby, not too shabby. Would you look at that? These resources are especially valuable because I am so early into the game. I know later in the game things like iron farms kind of make it obsolete, but, you know, it's always worth to pick up a little more iron in this stage of the game. Some of our first gold. This is going to be so important when we get to the Nether. Just because everybody knows a piglin needs at least a little something, and 4 gold is just enough for a pair of boots. So when we do go, I won't immediately be, taken hostage. Oh. Oh gosh. And I think I need to head back to the surface now because I have lost far too much health. All in all, I think that was a pretty good trip down to the Nether, and now our farms are fairly loaded, so we'll be able to do those again. And maybe I'll be able to get more than 3 hearts in my little health bar there. For now, I've only been eating the beetroot. I don't know how I got beetroot seeds, maybe just by mining a bunch of grass. But I'm trying to go through them at a pretty good clip as my main food source because wheat is so much better spent on the cows and the sheep. And it's a fairly easy, stable crop. It's not like I can do all that much more with it. Now, I do think I'm going to have to start slicing down some of these cows. They're getting a little bit rowdy. I have had to turn off a lot of creature sounds because it has been just far too loud around here. You guys are getting the much more positive experience and not 100 cows all mooing and their feet batting. But I guess we do get to enjoy the rain together, so that is something. So with our farms replenished and our mineshaft expedition being a little bit of a bust success, but a little bit of a bust due to the fact that I don't have real swords or anything, or even real armor. I think my next goal is going to be being able to obtain some lava. Now, I don't have any on the island, but it can be done in theory if I simply just mine for long enough, which is going to be a very long and boring thing. So instead of just doing that, I need to prepare for an expedition to find out what my next resource that I gather from off the island is going to be. Now, my current thought is sugarcane. Now, there's actually a couple reasons for this. Not that it's just close and I happened upon it while I was walking. It's a little more complicated than that. You see, I want bookshelves for my interior, and there's no way to get that without some kind of sugarcane farm, because you need paper. So, as easy peasy as that is, I think that's going to be it for this week. In terms of resource expedition. Now, I may come back and do an update after I get some lava. I will keep you guys posted, but that will be in many few hours. Alright, we have finally found lava, which means that with enough buckets, we'll be able to open up a portal to the Nether. Now, I do think that's a plot for next week. After all, we've gotten quite a bit done in this episode. But, while we wait for our plants to grow and for the sugarcane to spring up, I do want to put one thing in the house. Alright, the thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to get one little barrel down. Oh, not that way. I think it'll make a cute little nightstand for my little bedroom here. Get a little view outside the window, be nice and cozy. Long term, I'd like to get some bookshelves in here, but for now, that's why we wait for our sugarcane to grow. And at least it's something to look forward to for next week. So thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And goodbye.